Yalu, this is a Shaolin monk. Watch the intense focus in his eyes. He's ready, he's waiting, faint. The moment his opponent flinched an intention, the monk already knew that his opponent would have to step in to his space in order to strike. Chamber pivot extend. His opponent wanted to feint level change, then enter with a jab to the body, inadvertently having his face meet foot instead. If there was no level change, the monk used a clean line from his center mass to best harness his body weight. It likely would have just hit solar plexus because of that. It landed on chin due to his opponent's level change. Beautiful, and actually a technique common in many disciplines, including the Thais. They have something similar known as the lightning teep. But when you see a more traditional style use this method, you automatically think, would it work in real life? Well, the oblique kick has been gaining a lot of popularity in mixed martial arts, and for good reason, but in truth, it's just a low side kick, many taking it as inspiration from Bruce Lee, who, had a side kick as integral to his game. But this now brings us to another question. Why is there such a stigma against traditional styles? I've trained at a lot of gyms, including mixed martial arts gyms, and you always come across someone stating that traditional styles do not work. Why is this? Despite the success we see in mixed martial arts, I would say it has less to do with the style and more to do with the ego people have when they teach the styles. It's so tragic and something Bruce Lee was actively working against. A pride leading many schools to parrot that they themselves have found the ultimate method, when in truth, there is no such thing. Now, when one projects that they themselves have found the ultimate method, they have lost that hunger that they once had when they were white belts. Thus, naturally, a more complete system will consistently defeat them, as innately is more humble to more understanding. This innately means that the techniques are not bad, but instead, the arrogant lack of philosophy. This Shaolin monk is an example of a technique working effectively, with Stephen Thompson using a different style but virtually the exact same technique, reinforcing this notion on the grand stage. Whether it be to the body, the head, or even leg, this is an example of traditional styles working. The middleweight champion Robert Whittaker, a foundation of karate, hapkido, boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, he is an example of a strong martial arts philosophy, not necessarily physically superior, as no one has really mentioned him for his size or power, but instead his IQ and overall technical understanding. It shows even in his bout versus Jacare. His ability to move in and out, the bounce in his step, the bladed stance he sometimes enters or breaks into from his boxing stance when he wants to move backwards. Clearly, his beautiful, nimble footwork is inspired by both boxing and a more traditional style. When you train mixed martial arts, boxing is naturally part of the curriculum, thus with it a strong emphasis on center-line philosophy. When someone throws a punch, naturally you want to move to the outside of that punch, as it reduces the capacity for your opponent to follow up with their other hand. If your opponent throws a jab and you slip in, they might be able to catch you with their right hand. They throw a right and you slip in, they might be able to catch you with their left. Of course, there are exceptions, but Rob takes this understanding and exploits a hole in that philosophy using a more traditional style, karate. Watch how Jacare moves and slips towards the outside of Robert Whittaker's cross, even though he actually didn't get to the outside. This was natural as part of his training. This gives Rob all the information he needs, showing Jacare the right. Watch how far he moves and slips trying to avoid it. In comes that karate roundhouse, exploiting the behavior. It's not a Muay Thai roundhouse by the snap, and also the emphasis Rob has when striking with the instep, the foot portion he hits with his foot, not his shin, and the relaxed snap that increased the overall speed at the cost of body weight. It's not Thai technique, it resembles something more along the lines of karate. As much respect and as firm of a believer I am in the Thai style of striking, this is not a Muay Thai roundhouse, it's the light concussive pop of a more traditional style. That was a harmony between boxing and karate working together to create an opening. George St. Pierre has stated that karate footwork has given him a capacity to move in on his opponents in a way where other wrestlers have not been able to. We can look at Zabit Magomedsharipov. He is a Shaolin Kung Fu practitioner, more specifically Sanda. Darren Till, he is a Muay Thai master using a bladed stance, effectively adopting an oblique kick, which is just a low side kick. The amount of evidence reinforcing the success traditional styles have when they break tradition and adopt a more complete system, these styles actually work even better in mixed martial arts because people don't expect it. They aren't prepared for getting hit awkwardly with the foot. And of course, it does not have that same devastating cleave the Thais have, but they get clipped with something quick on the dome. It almost looks surreal how their lights go out because they just didn't see it coming. When their muscles were too relaxed to absorb it, they did too much damage to their brain. Now, there is one truth that resonates throughout the universe. Whether it be a good doctor, a good scientist, a good physicist, a good philosopher, or even a good martial artist, they are all people who understand that they do not have all the answers. They try their best to learn and use what they currently have to the best of their ability. With this understanding, we realize how dangerous the ego and the stagnant pride it emanates is. What may be used as a tool for motivation when left unchecked may leave us blindsided under its veil. With this knowledge, I encourage you to take the paradox of trusting yourself, not because you have all the answers, but more truthfully, because you are willing to grow. A philosophy, not just for the arena, but life in its entirety. If you like more from me, please subscribe and hit the notifications. Thank you if you did. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. It's good karma. And until next time, peace.